Okay, good morning, Year 5. And we've made it for another week of home learning. We've got one more week next week to finish off this learning journey, and then it will be half term. So, really well done for all of your work this week. Now, we've looked at a number of naturalists this week, and we are going to now be going back to looking at some life cycles and thinking about what we've learned so far around mammal, amphibian and bird life cycles. Okay, we've learned lots about these and we've compared the differences between each of these. Okay, so what are the differences between all of these different types of animal? And there were lots of differences, weren't there? Okay, we talked about metamorphosis here. Okay, we talked about how mammals and birds were very different, okay, with laying of eggs. So today we're going to move on and have a look at insects. Now, insects are a little bit different because they have two different types of life cycle. So all insects go through metamorphosis, but we have two categories of metamorphosis here. We've got complete metamorphosis, which a beetle, a fly and a ladybird go through, okay, and also a butterfly, and we're going to look at that in more detail in a moment. And then we've got incomplete metamorphosis, such as a grasshopper, aphid and a cockroach, okay. Also a dragonfly goes through this, and we're going to look at that in a little bit more detail. Now, a dragonfly goes through incomplete metamorphosis. And when we think about metamorphosis, remember when we were looking at the difference between mammal and amphibians, and we said about the frog and the dog, how different they looked when they were young. And that gives us a real clue as to whether an insect goes through complete or incomplete metamorphosis. Now, incomplete metamorphosis, the egg hatches into a nymph, okay, but the nymph looks like a version of the small adult. So, very similar to the adult, okay, but there may be some body parts or some things that are not exactly the same. So as it grows into an adult, they often shed their skin, okay, and the adults are sometimes able to fly, which is a difference in the dragonfly. The nymph is unable to fly, okay, can live in water, but the adult grows wings and is able to fly. So there is still a change, but it's not a complete change. We can still recognise, okay, the dragonfly in its young. If we look at a butterfly, however, this is where we see complete metamorphosis. So the adult, again, it starts from an egg. All insects start life as an egg. This time it hatched into a larva, okay? And we know in a butterfly that is a caterpillar. Now, a caterpillar is a completely different form to a butterfly. No similarities there. Whereas the dragonfly, we could see the similarities. We then have this stage where they turn into a pupa. Okay, so a hard case is formed around the larva, and then we have this full metamorphosis, complete metamorphosis. So we get a completely different looking creature by the end. So we get the butterfly. So there's complete and incomplete, and it's to do with the change. Is it a complete change, such as these ones, or an incomplete change, like these ones here? Now, there is a link to a video in the Class Dojo today, okay, and I'd like you to have a look at the video. There's a couple of diagrams that make it really clear at the end of that video, okay, and I'd like you to record one of those diagrams, okay. If you'd like to complete a simple version of incomplete and complete metamorphosis as a life cycle, that would be great. You could choose either the ones that we've got here, or find another insect that goes through complete or incomplete metamorphosis. And then, like I say, I would like this diagram from the video. Watch the video, complete the diagram, and then I'd like you to reflect on that. What are the key differences between incomplete and complete metamorphosis? So in your own words, what do you think the key differences are between those two? Okay, so have a lovely weekend, and I will see you on Monday.